start with the different type of methods in object-oriented programming language. Now there are three types of methods. We had a brief discussion in the previous sessions as well about different type of methods, static methods and class methods. But today we'll talk about a little bit of in detail, so that we'll have a basic understanding and a good understanding about these concepts. So types of methods. The first type is instance method. Second type is static methods. And the third type is class methods. Right? These are the three methods we have. Now we'll take one by one. So let's start with the instance method, which is also known as object related method, right? So instance method is nothing but object related method. Now instance method, once we create an object, that means we are actually creating one instance of a class, right? And once we create the instance of a class, that means we are creating an instance. All the variables, if you remember, right, in the previous classes we spoke about instance variables, which is specific to the object. Similarly, when we create object, the instance methods are specific to the object, so it is related to object. Now any method which consists of instance variables, any method which consists of instance variable will consider as an instance method. Keep that in mind. So any method consists of instance variables, that is my instance method. Second, inside the instance method, the first keyword, which is self, is compulsory. So inside the instance method, first keyword, that is self, is compulsory. These two things you have to keep in mind. Let's take one example. Let's say we are creating a class called student. Now here, first of all, this is my constructor. I am creating a constructor which is helping me to initiate the variable. We had a discussion about it. Self comma name comma marks colon self dot name is equal to name, self dot marks is equal to marks. Now these are my instance variables because we are calling it with self. That is also, we had a discussion about it. Now I am creating one method inside the class def, let's say display, and I am passing self, which is satisfying this criteria. Inside the instance method, the first keyword self is compulsory. I am passing self. That means it is nothing but I am starting to create an instance method. Now second is any method consists of instance variables is instance method. That means I have to call some instance variable as well here. So let's say print hi comma self dot name, print your marks are self dot marks, right? Done. So now this is my instance method, because here first of all I am calling the instance variable, second I have self as well. That means I have some input variable of this method. Let's create one more method, def grade self. If self dot marks is greater than equal to 60, print you got first grade. Elif self dot marks greater than equal to 50, let's say, print you got second grade. Elif self dot marks greater than equal to 35, print you got third grade. Else print you did not pass. Now question arises, is this a instance method? What do you think? Is this an instance method or not? It is, right? Because we are calling self, at the same time we are calling the variable as well, which is instance variable self dot marks. Let me create student one. So now what I am doing is I am creating an object from the student class, right? And it requires two input variables. We know that self Python internally will give some value. Name and marks I have to give. Let's say the name is Rahul and the marks is, let's say, 35. Execute. Nothing will happen, only this part will run because we are creating an object. Once we create an object, what will happen? My constructor will execute. So it executed. But after that, what I'm looking for is s1 dot display. When I will execute, it will display this. And if I will write s1 dot grade, I want to know my grade. So my grade is third grade. Now what we can do is we can call, now this is my instance method, right? Now this instance method, can I able to execute in the constructor? Let's see that. Let's say, now how will I call? How will I call the instance method in a constructor? Or let's take one more example. How will I call this grade? Can I call this grade? Because I have to run separately, right? S1 dot display, S1 dot grade. If I will just write S1 dot display, it should give me the grade as well. Something like that I want to do. So what I want is, I want this function somehow called inside this function itself. So to call a function, which is the, or like as a object oriented programming language term, to call a method, right? If I want to call an instance method in another instance method, then we can call through self keyword. So let me write that. If we want to call an instance method inside the instance method, we will go for self keyword. That means which function I want to call? Grade. So self dot grade, done. Will this work? Let's check that. Execute. You are seeing that I'm getting 2 times grade 3. Why? Because if I will remove this, execute, still I am getting, you got grade 3. So that means I am calling this method inside this method. How? By passing self dot method name. Now same way, can I call the instance method in the constructor? That is also important. Can we call instance method in constructor? Yes, we can. How? Again, we'll go with the self keyword. Self dot display. Okay. And then let me remove this display part, because automatically when the constructor, now try to understand what's going on here. When I will hit, or when I will create an object, right, then what will happen? This constructor will execute. Once this constructor will execute, it will actually calling this display function also. So what will happen? It will go to the display function. It will start processing this. While processing this, you see that it is calling grade function also. So it will start processing this as well. So basically, when I will create an object, at that time only everything should come up. You see that everything is coming up. Let me change some name. Let's say Asta 95 execute. You see that it's changing. So at the start, when we are creating the object, at that time only this entire thing is processing. So when you want to call an instance method inside instance method, or when you want to call instance method inside the constructor, is possible. There is a concept of setter and getter method as well. Now, what is setter and getter method? Setter and getter method. Now, what is this? Let's try to understand this. This is not a part of, I would say, these three methods. It's altogether a separate thing, right? Just to help you understand what it is, we are talking about it. But there are three main types of methods only. One is instance method, static method, and class method. We spoke about instance method. We'll talk about static and class method as well. But before that, let's talk about setter and getter method, so that we'll have an idea. Now, setter method is to set the values of an instance variable. Now, you must be thinking why we require that. Because we have this constructor and we have this option to call the value on the fly. Then why we require a setter method to set the values of an instance variable? For example, name. So in the name, I can pass the value Asta and marks 95. Then why we explicitly require a setter method to set the values of an instance variable? And the getter method is to get the values of an instance variable. So basically, let's try to understand. Normally, when we create a program, so let's say I have a variable marks and name, right? Now, once we call a program, we put the name value and marks value, and then we do the processing. However, suppose there are chances that we don't know the name, we don't know the marks also as of now at this point in time. Once we are executing the entire class, we don't know what is the name, what is the marks as of now. So in that case, we prefer to create a setter and a getter method to help us to assign the value. So basically, setter is nothing but to set the values to the instance variables. Setter method is also known as mutator method. Okay. Now, what is getter? To get the values of an instance variable. To get the values of an instance variables. Which is also known as accessor methods. For example, and it's a good programming practice to go for it. Suppose I don't have a constructor. Okay, I am just creating a class called student. We can create a class without constructor as well. So def set name. I want to set the name, self name. Self dot name is equal to name. Now what I am doing here is I am setting up the name. Same way, def get name. Let's say self and return self dot name. Now here what I'm doing is setting the name and getting the name. Set the name and get the name. Same way I want to set the marks, get the marks. So def set marks, self marks, self dot marks is equal to marks. Similarly, def get marks, self and marks is not required, so self dot return self dot marks. Okay, so this is my setter and getter methods. But how will I use this? How will I use this? Let's take one example. Now, this is my class which is having setter and getter methods inside the class. Now, what I want is, let's say I have a list. Let's take one example. I have a list. Now, I am asking the end user how many students, marks, and name you want to put. Okay, because I don't know as of now that which name I want to put, what marks I want to put. I don't have any idea about it. I will able to understand once, let's say I have a list with me. As of now, I don't have the list. So I'm writing a logic where this entire code will be used to set the values and then output will come automatically. So n is equal to, first of all, I'm asking the user how many students, marks, and name you want to put. So let's say input, enter the number of students. Right, how many students you are interested in. After that, I am writing for loop for I in range n, because this loop will iterate how many times? Those many times the number of students are with me, like the number of students I'm interested in. Let's say I have 10 students in the class. I want to put all the 10 students names and the marks. Then I can write n equal to 10, and the loop will iterate 10 times, so that it will take the values 10 times. After that, what will happen? I am calling my student class. This class is my student class. I am calling it. Then what will happen? Once I am calling it, what I want to do is I will ask for the name first of all. Input, enter the name of the student and marks. Integer input, enter the marks of the student. Now I have this object S, which consists of set name which consist of set marks. So what I will do is I will write s dot set name is nothing but name. S dot set marks is nothing but marks. After that, L dot append S. Now what will happen? S dot set name. Now this loop is iterating. Okay. Now this loop is iterating. What will happen? It will ask me total number of students. Let's say I'm going with 2 students for now. So what will happen? This for loop for I in range 2. That means 0 and 1. 0 because the range function is giving me value from 0 and 1. So 0 and 1. S is equal to student. Now this is what? This is a object which I am creating. It is not initializing any variable because there is no constructor out here. It is just creating the object. That's it. Once it is creating the object, I am asking the name and the marks of a student. After that, I'm setting the name. I'm calling this s dot set name. So I'm assigning self dot name as name, the name which I will pass. Same way, s dot set marks, I'm setting the marks which I'm passing. And then L dot append S. So basically, I'm appending all the objects. So it will iterate again. Second class will create again S. Then again, I will have some values for that. And again, it will append in the list. Now, let's run for S in L. Now I have the list, right, which consists of 2 objects. For S in L, print student name, which is nothing but S dot. Now can I use get name? Because what is the usage of getter? To get the name, get the value. What is the use of setter? To set the value. So here set marks set name is setting the value, and get marks get name will help me to get the value. So print student marks s dot get marks, and then let's give print. Now the entire code is now executing. Enter the number of students. Let's say I'm passing 2. Enter the name of student. Let's say Milind. Marks. Let's say 45. Next name is Priyanka. Marks. Let's say 67. You see, we are getting the values. So basically, the main purpose of understanding is main purpose of discussing this is to help you understand that this type of setter and getter methods we have to actually assign the value, the instance variable value as well. And this is like a good programming practice. We prefer to go with that. Okay. So this is the list created, which consists of the objects. That is what we put it here. L dot append S, where S is my object student. Now, let's talk about class methods. In real-time practices, we normally don't use class methods, right? We prefer to go with either instance method or static method, but normally we don't use class method. You'll able to understand why, you'll able to see what will happen here. First of all, let's talk about class method. So inside method implementation, if we are using only static variable, in the instance method, when we are using instance variable, it considered as an instance method. When we are using static variable, then it is known as class method. Okay, so inside the method implementation, if we are using only static variable, guys, only if I'm having static plus instance, then it will not considered as class method. Okay, only static variable without, let me make it in bold, without instance variables. Instance variables should not be there. If instance variables are there plus static variables are also there, then it is known as instance method only. But if the instance variables are not there, only static variables are there, then it will be known as class method, or you can go for class method basically. So some more points: at least one instance variable is required to call it as instance method. Keep that in mind. If we are not having any instance variable in the method, then it will not considered as an instance method. Okay, not using any instance variable, just we are using static variable, keep that in mind, it's a class method. It will not considered as instance method. One more thing to understand: instance variables, if we have instance variables, if we have plus static variable also we have, then it is known as instance method. Okay, if both are present, it is instance method. So class method can only be called as class method when we are only using static variable. Keep that in mind. Second thing, we will have to write the decorator class method to tell that it is a class method. So the decorator class method is required. Okay, also I have to pass CLS in the method to understand that it is a class method. If you remember, we have self, similarly we have CLS also, which is again the Python will give me the value internally, but when we are creating a class method, we have to give CLS, then only it will be considered as a class method. CLS is required. Next, we can call class method by using class name or object reference. Okay, we can call class methods by using class name or object reference. We can give the object reference if I'm creating an object, or I can give the class name also to call the class method. Like let's say I'm creating a class called student and the object name is s, so s dot method name, which is a class method, I can call that, or student dot method name, then also I can say that I'm calling the class method. So class method can be called using class name or the object reference, both. Let's take one example. Let's say class employee. Let's say I'm creating, now I want to create a static variable, so total employee equal to 10, let's say. Now I'm creating a class method. To create a class method, we require a decorator. Class method def, let's say I'll give .emp cls and comp name. something like this, colon, print has total employees dot format name, which is nothing but comp name, comma cls dot total employee. Now employee dot total employee dot emp, let's say TCS. Now what's happening here? TCS has total 10 employees. So basically what I did is I created a class called employee. I created a static variable total underscore emp equal to 10. Class method I'm creating. Def, I gave the method name as totemp. CLS is required. Comp name, where I am passing the company name, and then I am passing the variable and calling the static variable using CLS. So here I created the class method. Okay. So when we are passing @ class method and then we are passing CLS, and when we are only using a static variable inside the method, then only it is known as class method. Okay. Now let's take one more example so that we'll have an idea. Let's say we have, let's say I'm creating a class called test. Class test count is equal to 0. Now count is equal to 0 is what? My static variable. Perfect. I am creating def init self test dot count is equal to test dot count plus 1 @ class method def, let's say number of objects, CLS, print the number of objects created, test dot count. Okay. Now T1 is equal to test, T2 is equal to test, T3 is equal to test, and then test dot number of objects. Can you tell me what will be the output? Now here once I will create an object T1, this will execute, constructor will execute or not? If constructor will execute, obviously this line will execute as well. So my count value was 0, but now the count value became what? 1. Then what will happen? Then I am creating the second object T2. Again this will execute. Again the count will increment by 1, so count will become 2. Then again the third object is created. Then again one more count increasing. So now the count became 3. After that you are writing test dot number of object, test count. Now what is the value of test count? 3. So what will be the output? 3. Create class test count is equal to 0, def init self, let's pass name, self dot name is equal to name, test dot count is equal to test dot count plus 1 at the rate class method def number of objects cls print self dot name. Will this work or not? Do you think will it work or not? No, right? Let's see that. It ran fine. Now let's create an object t is equal to test, and test require one name. So let's pass a. All right. Now t dot number of objects execute. Self is not defined, so it will not execute. Basically the code is created but it will not execute because it was looking for self and self is not there. Okay, but now cls now what's happening? Self is not defined. Where self is written? cls and cls. Anywhere else? Name. Type object test has no attribute name. Name, and I'll just remove this. Yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. That now you see here. First of all, I did not call at the rate class method. If I am not calling at the rate class method, guys, then it will not be a class method. First of all. Second, if you guys remember in the previous discussions we had, in place of self, I can put anything, right? But ideal programming practice says that put self. But in place of self, we can put anything. So now tell me, what is this method? Is this a class method? Is this a static method? Or is this an instance method? What do you think? Instance method, absolutely. Okay. So keep that in mind. There are chances that an interviewer in interview they will ask that, okay, this is my code. Now tell me what is the method it is. You will say, no, yeah, it's CLS, so I think it's a class method. No, it is not. Okay, keep that in mind. It should be class method decorator. Now let's take one more example. I'll have number of objects and let me pass x comma y, and here let me pass x plus y something. Give me one minute. Let me just do this. Just let me remove this. Let me remove. right. So now here, did you see? We had a discussion about instance method quite clearly. We had a discussion about class method also, where class method is required and CLS is required as well. And inside the class method, only static variable should be used. But now here we are using static method. Now is X and Y my instance variable? Is X and Y my instance variable? It is not. Did I call self.x, self.y somewhere? I did not, right? So it is not an instance variable. Is this a class variable? Oh, what is that? Static variable. It is not a static variable. I did not call here, right? It is a local variable. Maybe, yeah. So from here what we understood? When we are using a static method, it should be called with a static method, @static method decorator. So let's take one example. Let me give you one example. So basically, what is the purpose of static method? Now, inside a method, if we are not using instance and static variable, then it is a static method. Okay. So inside method, if we are not using instance and static variables, then it is a static method. It is a general utility method. Like normal product, you want to do some product, you want to do some average and all those things. Normal calculations when you want to perform, then you can go with static method. So it's a general utility method. Now @static method decorator we write. Now let's create. Let's say I'm creating a Rahul maths class name, static method, def add x comma y, print the sum is x plus y. Similarly, I'm creating one more static method, def product x comma y, print the product is x into y, and I'm creating one more static method, def average x comma y, print the average is x plus y divided by 2. Okay, so I created the Rahul maths class, which consists of 3 static methods. Now let me call Rahul maths dot add, let's say 10 comma 20, the sum is 30. Rahul maths dot product 10 comma 20, I'm getting 200. Rahul maths dot average 10 comma 20 should be 15. Yes. Okay, so when we want to create a static method, this decorator static method is required. Also, we can call the variables, which can be like, you can say local to the method. I'm getting the output. Now, one more thing I want to talk about. I spoke about that static method is required. Let me remove this. execute. Let me remove this. Execute. Let me remove this. Execute. It is working as well. That means what? Now it is not a instance method. I am not calling any instance variable, guys. I am also not calling any what do you say? The static variable. I am not calling any static variable. Then what type of method is this? It is a static method only. All right. So one point you have to keep in mind is if you are creating an instance method, then no decorator is required. When we are calling class method, then class method decorator is mandatory. When we are creating static method, then at the rate static method decorator is optional. All right. And when we are not calling at the rate class method and we are passing CLS, then CLS will act as self and that will known as instance method, right? We had a discussion here somewhere above. I think in this point we had a discussion. We removed the code, but we had a discussion that when we are passing CLS and I'm not passing class method, then it will considered as a, and if you are using the instance method, instance variable, obviously, then it will considered as a instance method. Okay. Now, some more points I want to highlight. I'm asking you guys, first is if we have instance variables in the method, which type of method it is? If we have instance variable in the method, which type of method it is? Instance method, obviously. If we have static variable, then class method. If we have instance plus static, then instance method, obviously. If we have instance plus local variable, what do you think? It will be instance because instance is present, so it will be instance. If we have static plus local, static method, sure. We have static plus local. It's a class method, guys. When we have local variable, then only it is a static method. Getting it? So when we have static, it's a class, right? So if we have static plus local, then why it will be static? It will be class method only. When we have local only, then it is a static method. Okay. If there is no decorator, then only two options are there. Either it is an instance method or static method. Then you have to check which variable are you using in that method. If you are using local variable, then it should be a static method. If you are using instance variable, then it should be a instance method. So when there is no decorator, only two options we have. One is instance method or static method. Class method require a decorator, right? We already discussed. Now, let's take the last example. Let's try to understand class test. So if you want to call the static method, then either I can call by class name or by object reference. Okay, so here I called by class name directly. I did not create any object. That's perfectly fine. Let me create a class. Let's R is equal to Rahul Maths. Execute, and then R dot add 30, 30. Add takes two positional argument, 3 were given. Now let's take one more example where we'll have some more understanding. So let's create a class called test. I'm creating M1 CLS print. It's a some method instance static class. Now tell me if I am calling the doubt which we had on the static and the instance, right? Now it will work fine. I think now you can able to understand. T1 is equal to test. Okay, and then I will write T1 dot M1. It is printing fine. I will do one thing. Let's say print ID of CLS. I am getting the ID of CLS. Also, I will write print ID of T1. You see here the values are same. That means the memory locations are same. Now can I say print ID CLS print T1 ID? Now T1 is an object. That means it's an instance. So I am getting the same ID which is coming from here, same as T1 which is coming from here. Now if I will write something like this, test dot M1, if I will execute, it will throw me an error because one CLS argument is there. Let me pass 10. Now what's happening? When I am running T1.M1, then I did not have to pass any CLS value. That is what we were doing wrong here in this Rahul example, Rahul Maths example here. Now here Python is passing one more value internally because I called the object. So when I am calling an object and calling a method, then this will act as an instance method. That is why the value here, the print id cls id, is exactly same as the object id. Because object is what? Object is nothing but one part of the class, and it has its own memory. So if this value is same as this id cls value, that means obviously it's an, let's say I'll have t2 is equal to test, right? Now t2 dot m1 and print id of t2. Now you see here, the id of t1 and t2 are different. That means another object is created. So every instance I am getting the new id. So when I am calling the object and method name, this is acting as a instance method. But when I am calling the class dot method name, and when I'm not passing 10, right? That is what we are doing here, right? R dot add. Now here I am passing two values, so it is saying that 3 were given. I am passing 20, and here when I'm executing, let me remove this. Execute. You see, it is saying that add takes two positional argument, 3 were given. Why? Because this is acting as an instance method, and it is passing. The Python is passing one self keyword. Self keyword is taken care by X. Now I can put anything, right, in place of self. X is taking as a self. So here I am passing one value is passing by Python, two values you are passing. And when you are removing one, it is giving me an error because I cannot add Rahul Maths and integer. Python is passing some value and you are adding that value with the integer, which is 30. That's why it's not executing. So when you are calling an object and the method name, it is acting as an instance method. Now here, when I'm calling test.m1, now test.m1, when I'm calling, it is acting as a static method. So when it is acting as a static method, Python will not pass any CLS value here. If Python will not pass any CLS value here, it will throw me an error, missing one required positional argument CLS. So in that case, I need to pass something. Let's say 10 I am passing. So what will happen? Python will assign 10 as value to CLS. And then when I'm executing, I'm getting the different memory altogether. Because when I'm running test.m1, it is acting as a static method. When I'm running t2 t1.m1, it is acting as a instance method.